Hari Om, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. We'll get started. Om. गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवत् ॐ गणेशाय नमः ॐ सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये वागीशाद्य सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननं वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ब्रह्मानन्दम् परमसुखदम् केवलम् ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतम् गगनसदृशम् तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकम् नित्यम् विमलमचलम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतम् त्रिगुणरहितम् सद्गुरुम् तम् नमामि श्रुति स्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्य केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् यस्य सन्निधिमात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly Vedanta classes. 2 weeks ago, we started our study of the classic text of Vedanta called Viveka Choodamani. If you are joining just today, the 2 videos are posted on the Chinmaya Ramanam. Please take time to watch that. With that, let's get started with the Mangala Charana Shloka. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. As I had explained this before, in the invocation, Adi Shankaracharya ji offers salutations to Govinda, that is Bhagavan Krishna. Govinda is also his teacher, Govinda Bhagavat Padacharya. As you already know, we have four Purusharthas. Just to recap from the last 2 weeks: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Under the confines of Dharma, we pursue Artha, accrue wealth, to fulfill Kama, our desires, all towards one ultimate goal, which is moksha. We saw right at the beginning of the text, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji gave us these 9 rare blessings to glorify the importance of human birth, and that too spiritual life in human birth. We went through the details in a flowchart from Manava to Madhava. In those verses, the key takeaway we saw was that human birth is very rare, Narajanma, and moksha, liberation, is the ultimate goal of human existence. And that is possible only in human birth. And number 3, in the M&M shloka, the 3 M's, the Manushyatva, Mumukshutva, and Mahapurusha Samshraya. It is possible only with the grace of the Lord. Devanugraha Hetukam. Then we saw a classic scolding of Shankaracharya. Mudadihi. Having gotten this Narajanma, human birth, and gotten Pumstvam, manly qualities of the head and the heart, you foolish fellow, lovingly, he says, you are holding on to Asat Gruha. He is clinging on to unreal things, clinging on to impermanent things. Nihanti, as though he is committing suicide. To bring that sense of urgency into this form of study, then we understood that moksha is possible only through gnanam. Vadantu shastrani yajantu devan. Scholars may quote scriptures. One might say, I do elaborate pujas, or one might say, I do a lot of seva. He said, all of these are karmas. Atmaikya bodhena vinapi mukti na siddhyati brahma shatantarepi. Only by doing vichara, atma anatma vivechanam. And what is atma? What is anatma? What is their oneness, which is the essence of the Upanishadic Mahavakya? Only that knowledge will remove avidya, our primordial ignorance. Then we saw that even with this unlimited wealth, artha, this moksha is not something that we can obtain. Then he said, Chittasya shuddhaye karma, natu vastu upalabdaye. We saw that all of this karma is a cleansing tool for chitta shuddhi. Like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi also said, chitta shodakam mukti sadakam. So now, until now, what are the key points? Human birth, how rare it is, and moksha or liberation is possible only in human birth, and moksha is possible only through jnanam. All other sadhanas are sahakari sadhana, or means to the knowledge. Not any secular knowledge like engineering or medicine or physics, etc., but Brahma Atma Aikya Bodha, taught only in Vedanta Shastra. So the seeker here has to make that transition from dharma adharma, from dharma adhikari to a moksha adhikari. So in order for Shastra to be meaningful or doubt-free, sandeha rahita gnanam. So we have to study under a qualified guru. We saw last week that in guru, gu stands for that darkness and ru stands for that dispeller of darkness. So Vedantic texts mention two qualifications for a guru, not to judge a guru by that, but just to give a pointer that guru is a shrotriya, one who is well versed in shastras. In this case, Vedanta Shastra. Brahmanishta Guru. He's got experiential knowledge. In the verse we studied last week, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji described him as Brahma Viduttamam. He's firmly established in Brahman. Then we continued on in our journey as to who is this adhikari, who is a fit student to study this shastra, who is a qualified spiritual aspirant. A lot of times, last week also I mentioned this, we wonder, the teacher is the same, the text is the same, how come some students get it, some don't? Just like in any other secular study, there is Manda Adhikari, there is a dull-witted student. Madhyama Adhikari, there is a mediocre student. And then there is the Uttama Adhikari, there is an excellent student. Desha Kaladhyaha. One might say there are external factors like place of study. For example, we study in an ashram in a serene atmosphere. Kala, time of study, all are important, no doubt. But Shankaracharya ji say, these are sahakarinaha, they are secondary. We went through some general qualifications of the student of Vedanta. What are they? He is a medhavi. He's got very good memory, not just to reproduce mantras, but he or she has the ability to relate recollect the experience. Remember the three R's I told you: reception, retention, and recollection. And he or she is a Vidwan. Vidwan doesn't mean a Sanskrit scholar, but he is equipped with a good general knowledge of the world outside and a certain amount of intuitive knowledge. Uha apoha vichakshanam. He's got an analytical mind, meaning he's capable of grasping what is essential and discarding what is unessential. So, with that, today we will cover verses related to the specific qualifications of a student. विवेकिनो विरक्तस्य विवेकिनो विरक्तस्य शमादिगुणशालिनः शमादिगुणशालिनः विवेकिनो विरक्तस्य शमादिगुणशालिनः मुमुक्षोरेव हि ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा योग्यता मता मुमुक्षोरेव हि ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा योग्यता मता. Just like the qualifications or prerequisites that are needed for any higher study. In graduate study, if we go, they say, hey, why don't you take these prerequisites and come and join this? And same way, spiritual field is no exception to that. So Vedantic texts, they refer to these qualifications required by the individual. It is called as sadhana chatushtaya, fourfold qualifications. See, to go on this spiritual highway, as I said, first I need a GPS, a roadmap. GPS is Guru, Parampara, and Shastra. Then I need to fine tune my equipment, as I would like to call it, 4Ds of Vedanta. Shloka number 18. Sadhananyatra chatvari katitani manishibihi. Sadhananyatra chatvari kathitani manishibihi. Yeshu satveva sannistha yadabhave na siddhyati. Yadabhave na siddhyati. So we saw this chart last week. Sadhana Chatushtaya, the 4Ds of Vedanta. The first one is Viveka, differentiation, Vairagya, dispassion. Number 3, Shama Adi Shatka Sampatti, 6 disciplines or 6 virtues, Mumukshutvam, or burning desire for liberation. I explained this I have explained this in our basic Vedanta modules also. In Adhyatma Prakasha series, we'll go through each one of them individually. Katitani Manishibihi. The great sages say, when these fourfold qualifications are present, these are the 4 Ds of success. One succeeds on this path. Yat abhave na siddhyati. In the absence of these, one cannot reach the goal. This is said not to discourage the seeker from not pursuing this path, but to identify what is deficient in me or what is deficient with us and develop those qualities needed. So let us see what they are. Going to shloka number 19. Adau nitya vastu vivekah pariganyate iham amutra phala bhoga viragah tadanantaram shamadhi shatka sampatti mumukshutvam sputam. First one is Adau Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha Pariganyate. First one is Viveka. Commonly translated as what? Discrimination. But in this country, because it has a negative connotation, we will use the word differentiation. This is a faculty of the intellect given to all to distinguish one thing from the other. We differentiate pleasure, pain, sukha, dukkha. We differentiate honor, dishonor, mana, apamana, noble, ignoble. Sometimes, historically, what people have done, we use our Viveka to discriminate people from one race to the other, one color to the other, one country to the other, one language to the other, like that. But that's not what we are talking about here. It is the Vedantic differentiation. It is between permanent and ephemeral, or what seems real. Permanent and impermanent. Nitya, Anitya Viveka. According to Shankaracharya ji in Tattva Bodha, Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. See, he expects the student to have studied Tattva Bodha before studying Viveka Choodamani. So, Viveka is that understanding that Brahman alone is permanent and everything else apart from it is impermanent, ephemeral, mithya. See, most of the time we use Viveka. For what? Should I eat rice with sambar? Or they say multi-grain bread is better for me for my sugar level. Should I wear this dress or should I wear that dress? But we are taking Viveka to the next level. See, the ability to distinguish is not just unique to human beings, even animals. They distinguish between heat and cold, Shita Ushna. They distinguish between joy and sorrow, their own offspring versus someone else's offspring. Common Viveka. Even in Adhyasa Bhashya to Brahma Sutra, Shankaracharya describes, if you hold a bunch of green grass, the cow comes towards you. If you hold a stick, it runs away from you. Purely based on instinctive behavior. But in Vedanta, we are not talking about that type of Viveka. We are talking about Nitya Anitya Viveka, Atma Anatma Viveka, Sharira Traya Viveka. You're familiar now with all these terms. Pancha Kosha Viveka, Avastha Traya Viveka, like that. That is Viveka. Number one, first qualification. And in the second qualification, shloka number 20, Brahma Satyam Jaganmityet Evam Rupo Vinischayah. Brahma Satyam Jaganmityet Evam Rupo Vinischayah. Soyam Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Samudahritah. See, Vedantic differentiation is between what is eternal and what is ephemeral, what is impermanent, anitya. That which is changeless in the past, in the present, and in the future, 3 periods of time, we know is called Sat. So, focusing on that Sat Vastu is Viveka. Nitya Anitya Viveka. That is Nischaya, Vinischaya. What? The firm determination, that firm conviction, excuse me, that Brahma Satya Jagat Nitya. This is the Viveka Samarthya. See, initially, the seeker does not know what is Brahman. It is a concept. Once the teacher gives the Upadesha or the pointers, then it is Satya Mithya Viveka. Rejecting the false and the low tendencies in pursuit of the truth. So, Iha Amutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha Tadanantaram. After this, what? The second aspect of the sadhana chatushtaya, the second D, dispassion, vairagya. See, a lot of people fear this word. Vairagya, does it mean that I have to give up my home? Does it mean I have to give up my wealth, my wife, or my spouse, I should say? Do I need to lead a life of recluse? What Vedantic masters say, it has more to do with the mind giving up than anything physical. Vairagya. It is a natural disinclination towards worldly enjoyment. Vedantic masters say it automatically occurs in a person who is endowed with a strong Viveka. Meaning, Vairagya is a byproduct of Viveka. If Viveka points to everything except Brahman is impermanent, we should stop seeking the impermanent. That is Vairagya. How do we turn our attention inward? We studied a beautiful text called Bhaja Govindam before this. It is called developing dosha drushti, seeing the defects in my external pursuits. We call that developing pratipaksha bhavana. We can cultivate vairagya by constantly educating the mind on this defects of the world. Dosha drushti. Muhurmuhu. Again and again. With that, let us chant verse number 21. Tadvairagyam jihasaya darshana shravanadibihi dehadi brahma paryante yanitye bhoga vastuni. Jihasa, ability to give up enjoyments where anitya bhoga vastuni, that which is impermanent, those that are the objects of enjoyment, bhoga vastuni. Why? Anitya, they're impermanent. I seek this outside. Darshana shravanadibihi, through my sense organs, seeing, hearing, etc. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. All the sense organs come and feed my mind. Giving up that is vairagya. So the vairagya is that natural disinclination towards the worldly enjoyment, educating the mind that all my worldly pursuit, they have a beginning and an end, adi and ananta. They are riddled with pain. They dissipate my energy. While acquiring them, they dissipate my energy. While protecting them, they dissipate my energy. And in the end, it leaves me with a sense of incompleteness. We say dissatisfaction guaranteed, not satisfaction guaranteed, dissatisfaction. But what they do, they give us attachment which is permanent, which binds us. It creates the cycle. Vasana, chinta, karya. Vasana, chinta, karya. Avidya, kama, karma. This is the sorry go around. Not merry go around, sorry go around. Then you might ask, hello, what about Swarga? Even meritorious actions, punya, that lead us to Swarga, Vedanta says has an end. We are in Swarga and our punya ends. If our merits are over, Bhagavan Krishna says, Shine punye martyalokam vishanti. Back to earth on this sorry go around again. So this dispassion is the real strength for the seeker. That is why Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji defines Vairagya in Tattva Bodha as Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Icha Rahityam. The absence of desire to enjoy the pleasures of this world and even heaven. That is Vairagya, he says. See how broad that definition is. Absence of pleasures here and hereafter. So let's, with that, we will move to the verse number 22. Virajya Vishaya Vrata, Virajya Vishaya Vrata, Dosha Drushya, Muhur, Dosha Drushtya, Muhur Muhu, Virajya Vishaya Vrata, Dosha Drushtya, Muhur Muhu, Swalakshe Niyatavastha, Manasa Shama Uchyate. Then comes the third D. Six-fold disciplines or virtuous qualities. These are the virtues of the mind and the intellect. Equipment. What are they? Shama, Dama, Uparama or Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. We will cover a few of those today. Let us start with Shama. What is Shama? He said, Swalakshe Niyatavastha Manasaha Shama Uchyate. Shama is the mastery over mind, willful control of the mind, preventing the mind from a mad rush towards the world of objects outside. This is Shama. Mano Nigraha. That's how he defined it in Tattva Bodha. Here he is saying, Swalakshe Niyatavastha Manasaha Shama Uchyate. Ability to bring the mind to a peaceful state. See, mind is naturally inclined to go out, seek worldly pleasures. So mastering the mind to control the extroverted pursuit is called Shama. Here we have to be careful, not to suppress, but to sublimate the mind. Those who were with me on the Wednesday class, we had a very good discussion about this topic. So Shama is the willful control of the mind whenever it becomes extroverted due to our habitual tendencies, vasanas. So what it helps? It helps the seeker to slowly turn inward. Then in verse number 23, remember we have gone through this before, so I'm kind of giving a brief overview of each of these qualifications. Vishayebhyah paravartya स्थापनं स्वस्वगोलके उभयेषाम् इन्द्रियाणाम् सदमः परिकीर्तितः बाह्यानालम्बनं वृत्तेर्एषो उपरतिरुत्तम Dhamma. Dhamma is the next one after Shama. Dhamma is the control of the sense organs, such as eyes, etc. Chakshuradi Bahya Indriya Nigraha. That's how he defined in Tattva Bodha. Here he says, Ubayesham Indriyanam Sa Damaha Parikirtitaha. Steering both types of Indriyas, Karmendriya, organs of action, Jnanendriyas, organs of perception. Self-control. See, Viveka is strong. Mastery of the mind is automatic. Dhamma becomes natural and effortless. If Viveka is weak, Vairagya becomes difficult. Shama is impossible. Therefore, Bahya Analambanam Vruttehe Yeshaha Uparati Uttama. Uparama or Uparati is naturally withdrawing both the mind and the sense organs from external pursuits. It should become effortless at some point. Actually, at this stage of Uparati, even the senses have stopped hankering. They don't care for these pleasures anymore. Bahya Analambanam. Uparati is that condition where mind is peaceful, not tempted. It is not wandering, it is not rushing outside for pleasures. So that best Uparati is that condition where thoughts are free from the influence of the sense objects, external objects. Now comes a very important virtue, sahanam, titiksha. Sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara-purvakam. Sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara-purvakam. Chinta vilaparahitam satitiksha nigadyate. Titiksha, also called as forbearance. See, life full of experiences. We experience through body, mind, and intellect. What do we experience? Heat and cold, Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, pleasure and pain, Mana, Apamana. These are called in Vedanta as Dvandvas, pairs of opposites. Everybody goes through them. They come in waves, almost alternating with each other. They cannot be stopped. Tapatraya, it will come. So the capacity of the mind and the intellect to bear these pairs of opposites, like they say, little pinpricks in life. How do we bear them? Without lamenting. Apratikara purvakam. In Tattva Bodha, he defined titiksha as Shitoshna Sukhadukkadi Sahishnutvam. Here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is saying this titiksha apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam is that capacity to endure all sorrows, sufferings. It comes without asking. So, without seeking revenge or redress, being free from anxiety, not lamenting over them, like they say, what you cannot cure, you have to endure. That is titiksha. Then we'll come to Shraddha. Remember, we are in the qualification of the student. Shraddha. Shastrasya guruvakyasya satyabuddhyavadharanam. Shastrasya guruvakyasya satyabuddhyavadharanam. Sa shraddha katita sadbhiryaya vastupalabhyate. Like this. Shraddha. Shraddha should not become blind belief. Although commonly translated as faith, there is no English equivalent word. See, blind belief is not subject to verification. There is no fanatism involved here, no cult-like behavior. See, faith is the trust found on understanding. Our Puja Gurudev used to call Shraddha as belief plus understanding. An integrated mind and intellect. Mind is the source of belief, intellect is the source of understanding. In understanding what? Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha iti Shraddha. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Avadharanam. That I have faith in the words of Guru and the Vedanta Shastra. That Pramana Buddhi, Satyatva Buddhi. Saint Augustine has the best definition of faith. Faith is to believe in what you do not see, but as a result of which you start to see what you believe. What a beautiful definition. It's like the faith in the doctor. I believe what he or she is doing the right diagnostics, and I have faith in the medicine he or she gives me. Then only we are cured of the disease. Here also, we have the chronic disease of ignorance. And we tread this path with that Shraddha. I actually wanted to cover a few more, but we'll stop here. We'll continue in our next class. I don't want to overwhelm you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya तमसोमा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ May all be happy, may all be healthy, may all see auspiciousness, may none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. With that, I'll open it up for our interactive session. Please stay back if you can.